Welcome to Asian Pacific America. I'm Robert Honda, your host for this show on NBC Bay Area and Cozy TV. We start off today's show talking about special people dealing with special needs. Joining us first will be a family living, coping, and at times enjoying breakthroughs in dealing with autism. They say the general public perception of autism can be misleading. They are part of a group called Autism Speaks, promoting a big upcoming event to help fund research. And we also talk with a local law firm that specializes in preparing the future for children with autism as well as other children with special needs. They bring personal passion to help with professional planning to our program today. And we continue our show with a look at the Special Games, a very unique athletic event put on by the local Kiwanis clubs. Coordinators of the Special Games acknowledge it is somewhat similar to the Special Olympics, except no athletes are excluded, regardless of their level of function. It will attract about 900 athletes from around 60 schools to the South Bay this week. And we will wrap up our show with, as we like to do here on Asian Pacific America, an artistic performance, a live dance put on by a Bay Area Indian dance company. The Abanaya Dance Company is getting ready for the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival next month. We get an early look on our show. Well, trying to describe autism, trying to define autism is a daunting task. Evaluations of brain development challenges are broad because it is not a simple condition with consistent behavior. It can range from intellectual disability to motor skill problems, sometimes severe, sometimes minor. There are people dealing with it in every community, including the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. Joining us is a family we know and love here at the NBC Bay Area, and we appreciate them being here to help us bring some light onto this topic. Beauty before seniority. So we start with Evangeline Iyemura. She is the co-chair of Autism Speaks, the mother of two, including an autistic son, Evan, who is also with us today. And also with us is husband and father, Glenn Iyemura, a longtime photojournalist with NBC Bay Area, and also a volunteer for Autism Speaks. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us. Nice seeing you, Robert.
Evangeline, we talked a little bit about how hard it is to really describe autism to people who don't maybe experience it firsthand. Give people sort of an idea in terms of what autism is and the way you want people to kind of view autism.
Well, autism is a spectrum, so there isn't really a look. It's genetic. There's different things that autistic kids act. They can have tics. They can.
It's a very broad umbrella, huh?
It is a very broad umbrella. Like I said, it's just a very hard to describe what a look would be.
What got you involved in this? How did the family kind of discover what was going on? How did it evolve into you becoming somebody that takes part in kind of a movement?
Well, you know, we found out that he was autistic at about 2.5 years old, and I probably did what a lot of parents do is they kind of go into denial, and you actually go into a little bit of mourning too as well, because you have these expectations of your child being able to be an astronaut, a president, and all of that wonderful stuff, and now you're grappling with, I don't know if he's going to be able to talk.
Stereotypically too is somewhat, but in the Asian community,
yes,
you know what I mean? The families even put even more emphasis on that, and maybe a little tougher to deal with that way, huh?
It is very tough to deal with because you figure a lot of Asian families, I mean, they expect our kids, we expect our kids to be Rhodes Scholars a lot of times. And so, and then now you're really dealing with somebody who's going to have to deal with day-to-day functions, how to deal with society, and how society's going to deal with them.
And of course, Evan, you've become kind of the face of autism for a lot of people in terms of the cause. Yeah. And I see you active all the time. You're always doing things with your family. I see you visiting workplaces and things like that. What do you think about all this attention?
I'm like an Autism Speaks person.
You like being a spokesperson, huh?
Yeah, I like to be a spokesperson.
Well, Glenn, you and Evangeline, you make sure that Evan is out there all the time, whether you're doing this cause, whether you're doing family activities. Is that a pretty important thing in terms of trying to...
Yeah, the one thing I think we've met a lot of people that have autistic children, and a lot of the things we're hearing, that they keep their kids away from normal family things, like, say, going to the movies. Yeah. Now, for example, it took us maybe a year of taking Evan to the movies. We'd have to walk out after 5 minutes because he would start talking, and not to be disruptive, but he's just talking because he was talking to the screen. So it took about a year to get him to be able to go to the movies, and now he's the best behaved kid in there.
Evan, You feel more comfortable in public places?
Yes.
And you, Evangeline, you feel more comfortable taking them out to places now, huh?
Well, yes, and it is a process. So you start with baby steps of taking them maybe to certain restaurants and see how that works out, and
I mean,
you go on and
you
on.
got to throw out the first pitch, huh?
Yeah.
Ace game.
He did, and the crowd was cheering, and nothing bothered him, and we were really proud of him that day. If anything, he was a little reluctant to throw the ball because he thought he wasn't getting him back.
Actually, I think that throw was still better than the president's, from what I remember. What about the upcoming, events concerning this? How important is it, for example, in terms of trying to get your not only your message but also the research done?
Right. So the Walk Now for Autism Speaks is on May 16th, and it's at History Park in San Jose. And it's really important in two aspects. One, we're trying to fundraise. We also have a huge support with Alpha Z Delta girls that come and help with all the volunteering, along with some other separate groups as well. The fundraising is important because it helps with family services and research.
Glenn, I understand that Evan's quite popular with the people over there.
Yes, Evan's popular with the Alpha Z Delta girls, who have been a big help at all the autism walks, and they love him. He's like a rock star. And what do you think of them, Evan?
I do wish I called the the Delta's Lucy.
Can you say hi to any of them?
Hi.
Hi to Kimya.
Hi, Kimya.
Does you getting a lot more community involvement on this cause now, huh?
Yes.
Compared to when you first started, what's catching on? Do you think people are understanding a little bit more, or do you think just more people are understanding that they have to deal with it?
I think actually that's a great comment. 1 in 68 means that everybody is going to have somebody that they know. So I think organizations are starting to collaborate and really wrap around the fact that we need to do something.
Well, thank you all for being here. I think what you're doing is going to inspire a lot of people.
Thank you.
And do a lot of good.
Thank you,
Thank you for being here. We please want you to join the Iyemura family. How did that come out? And many others at the Walk Now for Autism Speaks, going on Saturday, May 16th, starting at 9 a.m. at History Park in San Jose at 601 Phelan Avenue in San Jose. Please join the Iyemura family there. Now, coming up, how do you help children with autism and other special needs get ready for the future? Some experts provide some guidance next.